webcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, it's Ron here at Ablesys. Welcome to the webinar. And we're going to take a look at the charts, the latest April trend signals. Clearly, the market's in an extremely strong uptrend in the last couple of weeks. I mean, one of the most powerful rallies in history. So let's jump in and we'll take a look here. This is my favorite chart to look at, especially for swing trading or to get into the market. Is the 130-minute daily chart. We had 120 daily, but the 130 actually works a little bit better because it goes exactly 3 times into the trading day, because there's 390 minutes in a trading day, and it's really just nailed everything, just dead on. It's a great swing trading chart. I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now, and you can see here. I mean, just an absolutely perfect triple confirmation buy signal. This is what you're looking for on your chart. When you're just like looking at, say you pull up a chart, any symbol. This is the SPY, the S&P 500. It's the market. This is what you want to see when you're looking at your chart. I mean, that's exactly what I talk about, each week, twice a week for all these years. A triple confirmation. We want 2 time frames and 2 different Abletrend algorithms to agree before we make a trade. That greatly lowers our risk. It makes it a very low risk trade. It stacks the odds in our favor, and it greatly enhances our chances for reward, for success. So there's the blue bar, the blue small dot underneath it, which you will almost always have, and then the blue cross, which is the daily signal, and it's all blue. So this is all color coordinated. That's the easy part. I mean, you can look at the chart in 2 seconds, see where to buy and sell, because you're just looking for the colors to line up the first time they come together. Probably the best thing to do is just look for the X's. As long as there's an X there, because that's the longer time frame, and you only get 1 per day on the dotted line, which is in the middle of the bar. So if you get 1 dot per day, or one cross per day, you're just waiting for a blue bar. I mean, we've been on the buy signal for 2 weeks now on the daily chart. You just want to wait for the 130 minute, which is just slightly over 2 hours. That's where you get 3 price bars per day, and it goes very evenly into the day. It's exact. 390 divided by 3 is 130. That's how we come up with that. It works great for swing trading, options, or whatever you like, shares. And this is for stocks only, not futures. I mean, that's just a perfect triple confirmation trade. It's a short bar, which is really good also. It's just perfect. Okay, we normally would like to put the stop loss a little bit under the blue dot. That's for every chart, including E-minis, including day trading, we want to put this, but in these high VIX market, we've got to put it tighter. There's just no way we can risk 12 points on an SPY chart. It's ridiculous. We can go maybe up to maybe about 15, if you want to even stretch it to 20 on the E-minis, but that's a lot of risk. So what we do is we put the stop 1 point below the bottom of the blue bar. Keep it simple. And as it's going higher. Now, as the dots go higher, we put the stop higher. But don't put it on the dot under the price. Like, for example, when the price is here, you don't put it here. You put it there. You always lag 1 step down, 1 previous lower row of blue dots. We're going higher, looking good. And here's the key when you're watching this. As long as you've got these blue dots, stay in the trade. You're safe. That's what the dots are telling us. The dots support. It's like an invisible support point that's going to block the price from going lower. What does that mean? We're protected. It's low risk. Abletrend signals are only low risk. Now, I'll guarantee you there'll be losing trades. Guaranteed. But the risk is low, and the winning trades far outweigh the losing trades. I mean, the last week and a half, has just been nothing short of incredible. I've had clients say they bought a lifetime license trading just one contract, just trading small amounts just in the last 2 weeks. And all they've done is followed it. Now, the problem that you have, I have, we all have, is our emotions, what we think. Our emotions get in the way. That's what holds everybody back. Otherwise, trading would be easy. If you have an able trend, it's simple. It's extremely successful. What's the problem? You just can't always do it because your emotions or my emotions or our thoughts come into play. And that's the reason that's the only reason that somebody wouldn't be successful in trading. Because if you trade or I trade on emotions or what we think, guaranteed way to lose. Don't even trade. Save your money. Cannot win. Nobody in the world can. None of us can. But if we have an algorithm with a 20-year track record, it's a no-brainer. You just have to do it. You just have to follow the simple rules that we have. And they couldn't be any easier. I had somebody tell me the other day, I could teach my 10-year-old how to do this. I mean, it's so easy. Blue bar and a blue X and a small dot. Blue bar, blue small dot, and an X. I mean, that's all I'm looking for on my, that's it. That's how nothing else. Some people say, well, what happens if no, there's no what happens. That's it. Only that. Only that. Nothing else. And if to go short, what the buy puts, the opposite. Red bar, a red small dot, not the big dot in the middle, that means nothing. The red small dot, we don't have a red X here. If we did, we would have went short or bought puts. This is a no trade zone. You've got red above, you've got blue below. You got red and blue on the chart at the same time. Well, that means stay away. The two algorithms and the two time frames are giving us a mixed picture. It's too risky. Leave it alone. We're going further. We're going further. It's going up. Oh, now it's pulling back, but who cares? We're still safe. We're still above the blue dots. Stop is here now. Okay, we've got long here at 260, especially if you have a call option on it, when you made a fortune on this trade this week. Now you got to stop at 270, so you guaranteed 10 points. I mean, look at this thing. And here we are today. Now your stop's at 275. You got in at 261. I mean, this is just a mega home run. This is thousands of dollars in 6 days using able trend signal. Nothing special. Just follow the signal. Just had to hit the button. That's the hard part. You had to hit the buy market button right here, or buy a call, however you like to trade. We don't tell anybody what to do with their money. We're just going to give you accurate, low risk direction. That's it. Moving on to the E-mini NASDAQ, because that's our favorite market to day trade. Although you can day trade you could trade any market in the world with able trend. Stocks, futures, Forex, doesn't matter. It works the same for everything. We like this market because in all the research, it's been the smoothest, least choppy, meaning least amount of losing trades. So that's our favorite. But ES is fine, or you like to trade crude or currencies, any market. You can trade the Indian stock market. You can trade any FTSE, European stock market, whatever you like. Able trend works the same for everything. Doesn't matter the able trend. It's just that some markets are generally choppier than others. And if a market is choppy, able trend or not, nobody can win. Guaranteed, loser if a market sideways or choppy. So we just feel that NQ is a little smoother. Simple as that. That's it. So if you're watching this live here today, this is what it would look like. We don't repaint the signals or anything like that. That's cheap. So once the price bar closes, and this is a 1 minute, the color of the bar and the small dot. 2 minute is the small X. 3 minute is the big X. So obviously you're not going to get a big X under every 1 minute bar. It comes in every 3 minutes. I mean, that's simple enough. So we're just looking for triple confirmation. The same thing I just showed you. It's no different. It doesn't matter what we look at. It's always the same rules. So that's what makes it so simple. It doesn't matter what you trade. It only counts what you think, not what anybody else thinks. Now, this is a really long bar. It's a couple of minutes after the market opened. But that's just what we look for. Blue bar, a blue dot, and we've had blue X, 3-minute X's. They've been on a long signal for 2 hours. Well, that's easy enough. So we're just looking for the blue bar with the small blue dot underneath it. Well, that's a really long bar. You know how I talk about that in the advanced webinars. We're not going to jump in on we're not going to have a $400 stop loss. That's just, we'll leave that alone before we do that. So the rule, you go to the second bar, and let's hopefully it's a shorter bar. Bingo, that's only a 10, 12 point bar. Perfect. What do? We put the stop loss 1 point below the bottom of the bar. So it's right around 85.01, we'll call it. How do we do on this trade? Well, again, this is simple, and this is exactly what you see at that time. That's why you can scroll back on the chart and look at any of the prior signals. And I strongly recommend that you compare AbleTrend if you're on a trial now, and maybe you just got it or you've been on it for a couple of weeks, because everybody gets one 30-day trial. Trials are for new users. Compare it to what you normally use. So this way you can compare. Most people can tell in a couple of days, certainly in a week, AbleTrend's performance results versus their normal performance before they had AbleTrend. That's what you should be doing on the trial. Compare it. So this way, if it's better, obviously, then it's worth it to buy it. If it isn't, then you wouldn't buy it. It would be foolish to do so. 99 out of 100 times, it's going to be. That doesn't count what I think. It only counts what you think. So when you have to wait for that first bar to close. It has to finish. Once that bar finishes, we get in at the open of the next bar. Let me go back and let me zoom in a little closer. Okay, I'm Eastern time, so 9:30 is when the market opens, obviously. So right at the open of that bar, right there, the second bar, this new bar, the last bar on the right side. As soon as that opens, the bar before it is final. It'll never change again. Obviously, none of the other ones there either. So that's why you can scroll back if you didn't use it today or you weren't available. You just simply scroll back and go, oh, okay, this is the exact chart, the exact color, the exact signal at that exact minute of the day. Nothing ever changes because we have to wait for the first bar to close before we make a trade. Once the bar is final, you can go back 1,000 years. This will never, ever change. Now, the big X's are 3 minutes. They have 3 minutes to decide. The small X's have 2, and the price bars in the dot is 1. So once that bar closes, we're long, right here at 85.05. Well, let's see how we did today if you were using AbleTrend versus what you normally use. Always compare if you're on trial. Okay, stay in it. Now, what do we do with our stop? Well, as the dots go higher, as I just explained on the chart before, it's the exact same rules. Stop goes on the second lower small blue dot below the price. Okay, now there's the price, and it's blue. When it's blue, you don't even think about getting out. Nothing to think about. You're in a strong uptrend. Plus, as long as you're above these small blue dots, you're safe. That's the safe zone. If you're short, you stay under the red dots. That's your safe zone. No need to get nervous. So now we move the stop from here, 85.02. We're going to move it up to here, 85.06. Great. That's exactly where we got in. This is a free ride. Can't lose on this trade. Guaranteed to make money. Well, let's see how we do. Oh, stop went higher. So I'm just looking at the dots and the colors of the bars. Until they turn green and I'm in profit of at least 10 points, I'm just going to use the dots. No. Now, when we get 2 greens and we're in a nice profit, then we're going to use the 2 green bar stop, as I've talked about a bazillion times over the past 16 years that I've been doing this. Okay, there we go. 1 green, up back to blue again. Very relaxed. Nothing to even Think about it. Okay, now we keep moving the stop higher. Now we're at about 85.28. Remember, we got in at 85.08. We just locked in 20 points, guaranteed. That's $400 for just one lot. I got clients tell me to trade 5, 10, 20. I don't go by that. That's crazy. I'm just keeping it simple and going by the very minimum amount. One lot. You can't get lower than one. That's a $400 winner guaranteed right now after if the market's open 15 minutes using Able Trend. So I hope you are using it too, because this is the exact same rules, the exact same webinar. I just repeat everything the same way over and over and over. This way it's repetition. We don't change signals. We don't change markets. We keep it very consistent, because otherwise that's cherry picking. And I don't like when that's done to me. So there you go. As I just explained, we get in right here on this bar right there, the second blue bar. The stop goes 1 point above, 1 point below, as I've been saying 5 times already today and 5,000 times over the past few years watching all these webinars. We keep going, it's going higher. And again, I'm looking at the color of the bar. It's blue. Very relaxed. Nothing to think about. Now my stop is at 85.40. Now we got some serious money on this trade going right here. So far right here, we're a 32-point winner. That's $640. Now you're not going to nail it perfect. Let's just say 600. Okay? First trade of the day. No excuse not to have this trade. $600 winner thus far. We're not done yet. Now we've got to stop here at 85.50. Now we've just guaranteed $800 on this trade. I sure hope you've been using Able Trend the past couple of weeks, especially today at the open, as I'm showing you. Otherwise, why have it? It's just a waste of $100. Okay, now stop is here at 85.57. Up 2 green bars. Okay, now you've got my attention. We've got a, $800 trade going at the moment. We've got 2 green bars. Green means neutral or sideways. Okay, so now we're going to just keep a little close watch on this. Ideally, I want to put that stop always under the dot, as I've said a 1,000 times. However, we've got a huge profit here. I don't want so much give back. So when we see 2 green bars, because blue, we don't even think about getting out of the trade. That would be pretty foolish. We're going to get out. We're going to put the stop 1 point below the bottom of the lower of the 2 green bars. So we got an 85.70. We'll keep it simple. Out right there. 85.70. We just picked up 58 points. That's $1,100 per one lot. If you traded 10 lots, you made 11,000. We keep it simple. We're not looking for lottery numbers here. And I like to under-promise. So this way, when you actually get it and do it, I over-deliver. I don't like the reverse when you exaggerate. People exaggerate to me, and then you never get any of the, nothing ever happens the right way. Okay, this is called a sweet spot. After you got stopped out right there, this is called a sweet spot. When the prices come back down to support and the green bars turn back to blue again. Now, we use the tick chart to verify whether we get into this trade or not. The tick chart, the 200, 500 tick chart. I go over that in more detail in the advanced webinar on Thursdays. But the point is, we re-enter the trade right here because it tested support, bounced off of it, and the bars went from green back to blue again. Not the first blue, but the second blue bar. We're going to be long again. There's our 2 greens right up there, and we're going to wind up picking up another 20 points, which means $20 a point times 20. That's another 400. So in the first hour of trading, actually the first 50 minutes, but the first hour, everybody using Able Trend today following the same rules that I have been going over for years. Nothing ever changes. You'd be up quite nicely, well over $1,000. And I'm lowballing that. It's actually quite a bit more. But you're not going to get everything perfect. There's slippage, there's commissions. I'm being very generous on that part. We're well over $1,000 on the first trade of the day. And there's no reason, absolutely no reason why it shouldn't be if you're a day trader. Not everybody wants to be a day trader. There's nothing wrong with that either. Some people like to do swing or longer term. Perfectly fine. I'm just saying if you're a day trader and you have able trend, does it get a whole lot better than this? I don't know. Use your indicators that you normally use and check and see. What works better? Not just on one trade. Do it for a whole week. You'll see the difference in a couple of days, but do it the whole trial, the whole 30-day trial. Your eyes pop out of your head when you see the difference between the two. Now, I purposely want to show you this. That's a losing trade, and there will be losing trades. I'm not here to mislead anybody. I want to make it very realistic because we are very, very serious about our trading. This is about real life trading, not fake stuff, not fantasy world, not all crazy stuff that you hear out there that makes me laugh when I hear some of the stuff that's out there. I've tried everything before I landed here 16 years ago. Stock goes 1 point below the bottom of the bar, stop out. We lost 10, 12 points on that trade 2 minutes later. Okay, we're up 1,200 going into that. However, we lost $140 on that trade. I'm not going to go over everything because I'm already 6 minutes over my time and I see a bunch of questions, but there's your triple confirmation sell signal. I wanted to do that bar by bar so that you can, I mean, that's no different than looking at that live because we don't take the trade till the bar closes anyhow, and nothing changes when the bar closes. So that is exactly what you would have seen if you were watching it live. Exactly. No difference whatsoever. Short trade there, made a little bit, but let's call it a break even. Obviously a no trade zone right there. And I love the no trade zones. They keep us out of trouble. They alert us of a choppy market before it happens, not after the fact, and we've already lost. That doesn't do me any good. Tell me before it happens. Then now you've got my attention. Then it's valuable. Telling me after the fact is meaningless. Obviously a huge uptrend there. Another, big winner. No trade zone here. Another huge winner right there. We're long at 86.55. We're stop out here at 75. That's another 20 points, meaning another 400 add that to the total. Now we're up ridiculous money for the day. And this has been this way consistently for 2 weeks because of this increased volatility. Quite frankly, it's been this way for a couple of years. But I guarantee you, I'll repeat it for a fifth time, there'll be losing trades and losing days. You have to just stick with it because nobody in the world knows before the trade happens if it's going to be a 5-point winner, a 100-point winner, or a loser. Fortunately, the losses are always capped because we have stop losses in place. So we can only lose a small amount. We can win a ton of money, but you can only lose a small amount because we manage the risk by continually moving the stops higher as the price goes higher, or lower as the price goes lower. So that's how we use it. It's simple. It's not easy to do because of our emotions, but maybe, if that's the case, then trading isn't for you. And it's perfectly fine. It's not for everybody. Do more longer term. It's a little bit more relaxed that way. You don't have to be on top of every minute. You only get 3 bars per day on that 130-minute chart that I just showed you when we first started the webinar. I always do half the webinar on a swing or a long-term stock chart, and the other half on an E-mini chart. And I always pick the ENQ just because it's our favorite, and I don't want to cherry pick. I could pick if it was a losing day today, you say, oh, well, you just picked it because I picked the same chart for years now. So, winner or loser, that's what we show. Again, it's about real trading, not fake stuff. John, you can use 9:30 to 4, or you can use all zeros if you want to, have it for 24 hours on that SPY swing chart. Totally up to you. Lisa, it's the same you have a trial now, so it's the same webinar at the same time, which is 6 o'clock Eastern time. Everybody here is in a different time zone around the world, but I'm Eastern, so 6 o'clock Eastern, the exact same time we did this webinar. It's both Tuesday and Thursday. Rick, you get in at the open of that third bar. Yes, the open. As soon as that bar opens, regardless of the color, you're in. Correct. Shandu, I talked about where the stop goes. It goes 1 point below the bottom of that blue bar, like I showed you today and yesterday and last week and last year and every other webinar. Hopefully that you've been watching, because I know you're getting down to the end of your trial, and we always lower the price anytime before the trial ends. In other words, while you're still on your one trial, because trials are for new users, we do have a little discount going on right now. At the moment, it's 10% off the 1-year license, and it's 15% off the permanent license right now. And that has to be before the trial ends. And that's a very healthy discount. It's $1,000 off the permanent license, which is obviously the much better value and the one most people do. But that's up to you. If you just want to do the 1 year, is fine. Those are the only two choices: 1 year or permanent after the trial ends. Everybody gets one trial. You get a full 30 days. You'll be able to tell in the first week, but you get a full 30 days to look at it, and you can always scroll back on the chart. If you say, I couldn't watch it the last few days, I was busy, sure, understand. Scroll back on the chart. You'll see all the signals right there. I just did that for you today. It's the exact same signals you would see at that exact same time of the day. Lisa, can one upgrade to lifetime after yearly? Yes, you can. The only thing is, if the year is over, you have no credit remaining. It's like starting all over. So that's why most everybody does the lifetime. But you can do whatever you like. It's totally up to you. You can upgrade during the 1 year, and we give you credit for however many days that you have remaining. So if you had 100 days remaining, it comes about $8 a day. You get that credit. If you had 10 days remaining, you wouldn't have any credit. If you did it kind of soon after you got it, you'd have most of your credit. So that's how we do it. That's the way Ablesys does it. And that seems pretty fair. We prorate it. And you get our full support always, too. I talked to the same people from years ago. It's not like we take your money and forget about you. You have great support here. Dale, regardless of the color, yes, Dale, of course. So always the same. Rules are always the same. John, you enter on a market order always. Always market order if you're day trading. If you have to fiddle around with a limit order, you're going to miss out on hundreds of dollars by time you get that order in. And there's only a one tick spread between the bid and the ask. So it's got to be a market order, of course, because this market's moving fast. Michael Z, that's just, exiting part of your position, getting to the 9 minute. That's your call on that one. Makes sense to do that. That's just a personal preference on that one. So perfectly fine to do that. Yes, sir. All right. Well, I hope this was helpful. Thanks for being here, everyone. Have a good night and be safe.